Dubbed the mini iQOO 15, this budget gaming phone's Z11 Turbo Teardown is here. Comparing it to the recent OnePlus Ace6T and Honor WinRT, which is more worth buying, you'll know after watching. Its 200 megapixel main camera supports 4x lossless zoom, compared to the iPhone 17 Pro Max with true 4x optical zoom. How big is the difference? The iQOO Z11 Turbo, which many of you requested, just went on sale. I immediately went to the store, spent $2,399, and bought the 12256 model to unbox and review for you all. The phone's back panel, like the iQOO 15, features a frosted mountain pattern. What I really noticed is this generation's camera module design. The sense of depth is really well done, and the top left corner even highlights its selling point, 200 million pixels. Why, the mid-frame has also been upgraded to metal, and the size is 6.59 inches. The official introduced a mid-screen device. Do you think game consoles should be bigger the better, or is a balanced feel more important? Okay, let's quickly turn it on.
Compare the screen brightness with the Honor WinRT. To the naked eye, the difference isn't huge. The Honor one is slightly brighter. And then let's do a dark contrast comparison. Hey, why did this Honor screen turn so yellow?
Honor has turned on eye protection mode. Did it turn this on a moment ago? I watched some replays. Honor automatically turned on eye comfort mode after the screen brightness was lowered. Wow, those who love to snuggle up in bed and watch movies should really appreciate this. This is truly technological, humanistic care. Regarding screen refresh rates, Honor offers 185 Hz, while iQOO's maximum is 144 Hz. Both phones allow custom refresh rates for apps, but for most standard applications, both only support up to 120 Hz. Only in specific games can they match the game's refresh rate settings. But that's normal. If you're constantly using 185 and 144 Hz, even with a 10,000 mAh battery, its battery life won't hold up. Alright, that's it for the exterior for now. Can the internal components of the Z11 Turbo truly live up to its little iQOO 15 title? Let's just start the teardown right away. First, heat it all around with a heat gun, then use the screen removal tool to vigorously pull it. The back cover is bent like this. It must be fiberglass material. After making an opening, use a pick to separate the back cover along the edges.
Even with IP69 glue, the back is quite easy to open.
Oh wait, the back cover is actually made of glass. I just sucked it and bent it like that, and it didn't shatter. That means this glass is still incredibly strong.
Looking at the back of the rear cover, it's mostly covered by this graphene heatsink sticker. Above the camera opening, you can also see 4 small metal posts. These posts connect to the motherboard, making the rear camera module part of the signal loop design. This design isn't very common on devices with small camera modules. Okay, let's take a look at the internal craftsmanship of the Z11 Turbo. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it? Vivo's devices are truly reliable in terms of build quality. Everything is very neat and tidy.
So, let's first remove the motherboard cover. When taking it apart, you can clearly feel the screws had added torque. I even had to set my screwdriver to the second gear. If the screws had a torque, during this phone's long-term use, the screws won't easily loosen. I removed the mainboard cover, and this cover surprisingly used a lot of metal. Whoa, but on the back, I'm a little confused. What exactly does this mean? Are you saying this thin piece is its top speaker?
Holy cow! While the area is quite large, its thickness isn't much more than the motherboard cover. Whose new black tech is this? Tearing off the graphene cooling sticker on the back, you can see its top speaker supplier is Gertech Acoustics. I've truly never seen this spec before. We'll actually test the sound quality of the ultra-thin speaker later. Flipping to the front, it's more conventional. A single C-ring flash, an infrared emitter, and then underneath is a graphene cooling sticker. At this price point, no wireless charging is normal.
Next, we're going to take out this camera module. There are 3 cameras in total, both front and rear. The front camera is a 32 megapixel one, which supports a 0.8x ultra-wide-angle lens. This will be quite convenient for group photos.
This smaller one is an 8 megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera. The largest one is a 1.56-inch super large sensor, a 200 megapixel Samsung HP5 main camera. It's said to support 4 times lossless crop zoom functionality. And conveniently, the iPhone 17 Pro Max also has 4 times optical zoom, so we can directly compare to see if it's truly lossless. We can also check how much improvement it offers compared to a standard 50 megapixel crop. Let's take a look at the 1x 200 megapixel high resolution mode. With the Z11 Turbo, after taking a shot, you'll need to wait about 2.5 seconds for the image to process. However, the clarity of the final picture is incredibly high. You can zoom in on the red magic cooler and clearly see the circular texture on its metal logo. The Z11 Turbo captures all of it sharply, but if you zoom in on the iPhone 17 Pro Max's 1x main camera shot, you won't be able to see it. Now, let's check if the 4 times crop is truly lossless. In comparison, this 200 megapixel crop effect is truly excellent. Compared to a standard 50 megapixel crop, it's much clearer. Compared to true optical zoom, clarity is a bit lower, but it's very close. I think the Z11 Turbo's 200 megapixel main camera is a very smart move. It doesn't take up much motherboard space, yet ensures good enough image quality, which perfectly suits serious gamers' imaging needs. If you enjoy gaming and demand even better visuals, you might also consider its older sibling, the iQOO 13. It boasts a full main telephoto and ultra-wide triple lens setup, plus a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and a Q2 dedicated display chip. Right now, its used price on Zhuanzhuan is only 2,300 yuan, which is a direct 2,000 yuan cheaper than the new device's 4,299 yuan, and all phones on Zhuanzhuan undergo multiple rounds of official quality inspections, so their quality is very reliable. Protection. Okay, let's continue by removing this motherboard. We can see that the main heat-generating areas are covered with a lot of thermal paste. It just lacks a mid-frame cutout for a direct motherboard to VC contact design. But that's not a big issue, because the Z11 Turbo's motherboard still uses a single layer design, which is very beneficial for heat dissipation. The Z11 Turbo's main performance configuration is a Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 processor plus LPDDR5X and UFS 4.1 and also a Q2 dedicated display chip, the same as the iQOO 13. Snapdragon's naming is quite confusing now. I guess many of you don't know if the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 or the Snapdragon 8 Extreme is more powerful. I've put the specs on the screen. In summary, the 8 Gen 5 is more energy efficient under low loads, but for peak gaming performance, the 8 Gen 1 is still superior. The choice is yours. Taking apart the bottom speaker, I checked the official website. It's from AAC Acoustics and the sound unit is fully enclosed, so its size isn't visible. Now, how will this bottom speaker, paired with the ultra-thin top speaker we just saw, perform as a dual speaker setup? Let's compare it with another device in the 2,000 to 3,000 yuan range, the Honor VRT.
This is a real-time 11/12/16 setup.
Okay, do you all find the difference clear now? Further down, you'll see a small ribbon cable in the middle. I might mistake it for a short focus fingerprint sensor, but the Z11 Turbo actually uses an ultrasonic one. The small cable just acts as an adapter here. The charging port's small board was removed. This port supports USB 2.0 transfer speeds with wide charging at 100 watts, and it also supports global bypass charging. The motor in the bottom right was taken out and measured. Its dimensions are a standard 0809 motor. I noticed a small detail on this motor. This right side is flush with the display cable. To prevent long-term vibration from damaging it, they added a buffer silicone pad on the motor's right. This is truly meticulous. By the way, through the cutout in the tail plug section, we can see the Z11 Turbo uses a high-end GT9 series IC, the GT9916K touch chip from Goodix Technology. Its instantaneous touch sampling rate can reach 3,200 Hz. When you take the battery out, the entire pack feels quite heavy. The official website says it's a semi-solid state battery, which sounds pretty impressive. Looking at it, the battery pack's dimensions are 5.4mm thick, 65mm wide, and 93mm long. Flipping to the front, the battery capacity is listed as 7600 mAh. Many of you might think this battery pack's capacity isn't as large as the Z10 Turbo Plus's 8000 mAh. Will the battery life be insufficient? But guys might have overlooked one thing. This phone screen is only 6.5 inches, so its battery life should be about the same. The battery manufacturer is still Dongguan New Energy Technology WinRT. It uses a single cell with a dual interface design, allowing for faster charging and a longer lifespan. So this is roughly what the Z11 Turbo's internal components look like. Let's put it back together. Before the new year, the hottest segment is still the 2,000 to 3,000 price range. Look, Honor VRT has a fan, a big battery, and 185 Hz. GT8 has a periscope telephoto, and OnePlus Turbo 6 has 165 Hz. Brothers following phones are probably dazzled by all the options now. Okay, restoration complete. So guys, after watching this video, will you buy it directly or wait for Neo 8 and Redmi's Turbo 5 Max? Let's discuss in the comments.